My F30 partner, 45 male, tried to convince me I'm ugly. My 30F partner 45M constantly calls me names and berates me and I can't handle it. This morning he was trying to log into one of his accounts and had the wrong password. He was walking about the house carrying on. I thought we were going out to a town nearby prior to my shower, so I got dressed to go out. It's both our days off, so usually we get ready when we're up, spend some time out and come home for the afternoon. I changed after 3 hours. I had a denim skirt on and it wasn't very comfortable, and he was gaming, so I put leggings on and I was doing laundry. He saw me with my leggings and went off. I've ruined the day. What's wrong with me? He told me I'm fat with 16 chins. I'm the same size as when we met. Size UK 14, 16,173 of a centimeter tall. That's what not bothers me. I'm self-conscious about my weight. I don't eat much around him. What bothers me is he spent about 20 minutes trying to convince me I'm ugly. Said I bags under my eyes, a chipmunk head, my nose takes up most my face, wrinkles in my forehead. He went on and on very descriptively about his opinion of my face. It's not all I put up with, but I don't think I can take that. I'm scared to leave. It's very complicated. I guess my question is, how do I approach this? It's hurt me greatly. I adore him and think he is handsome. I admire him so the time and tell him how sexy and handsome he is. I always thought I'm fat, but I'm pretty. Now I feel ugly and fat. Lose him and you'll feel much lighter already. Honestly, the only advice I can give here is run for the hills, but I appreciate you said it's not that simple. Can I ask why? The easiest case of dump him ever. You are not ugly, fat, or deserving of any of that abuse, and yes, what he's doing is abuse. This isn't love. This isn't a rough patch. He is actively trying to tear down your self-worth so you feel too small to leave. You don't need to approach this. You need to plan an exit safely. Reach out to a friend, a family member, or a domestic abuse helpline, people who can help you build a plan. You deserve peace, love, and safety. You do not deserve to be emotionally tortured in your own home. I adore him. Okay, but he clearly hates you and yet you stay with him. Why? He's repeatedly decimating your confidence in order to make sure you don't leave, since he also knows he's a puss that doesn't actually deserve a partner. Run for the hills, girl. My 21M girlfriend, 20F, hurt after I said her friend is attractive? 3 of us were hanging out and her friend was getting ready for a date. She was pretty nervous, so I told her she looks good and has nothing to worry about. This really upset my girlfriend, even though I only meant it in a friendly way. It wasn't flirty or anything inappropriate. I don't really get her. Just because I'm in a relationship doesn't mean everybody else is now ugly. Honestly, after 2 years together I thought we were past this level of insecurity, but she really seems hurt by this. How can I handle this? It sounds like a harmless, supportive comment, but her reaction shows it hidden insecurity. Instead of defending your intent right away, try saying, I didn't mean anything by it, but I'm sorry it upset you. Can we talk about what part of it felt hurtful? That opens the door for a real convo without making her feel dismissed. It's not about who's right, it's about making her feel heard while also being honest about your intentions. Telling someone they look good and saying they are attractive are different things. Attractive implies some sort of physical or sexual attraction. I can tell an older woman they look good without there being any hint of attraction. So it depends on what you actually said. Also, would you be okay if she said to you that she finds your friend attractive and then told him how good he looked while you were there? Chat with her about it. Of course we are going to find other people attractive in a relationship, but I would never be telling my partner that I find their friend attractive. That's just me though. Stop calling other women pretty or complimenting them in front of your girlfriend. She is the only one that's pretty or looks good in your eyes. That's what she wants. Give it to her, or don't and lose her. Your girlfriend is allowed to be jealous. It's super normal in a relationship. Just comfort her and tell her you don't want her friend. You can't fix someone else's insecurities for one. So you can't handle that. You can start a conversation about it and how it makes you feel. Or you can decide this isn't the life you want, and have that discussion and leave. But you're both so young, and not every relationship is a match. You didn't do anything wrong, but you should still be gentle with your girlfriend's feelings while handling the aftermath. For whatever reason it struck a nerve with her. It doesn't matter why or how, it only matters that she needs to be comforted. Be patient, talk it out with her and reassure her to make her feel secure again. Girlfriend wants to break up because I mentioned abortion pill, M24, F25. My girlfriend is maybe a week and a half late on her period this month. We didn't think much of it until she asked me if I had done anything that could result in her being pregnant. I hadn't. We're generally very safe. I believe her late period is the result of stress from a hectic work week and recent life changes. After she asked me that, I was a bit shocked and stressed, so I sat down with her and asked her a hard question. If you are actually pregnant, what will we do? It's a question that would have come up eventually, whether now or later. Obviously, we don't want a baby, it's simple. We've said that before. We're too young, not married, and not in a long-term relationship. So I figured mentioning the abortion pill was a reasonable thing to bring up, as it's the only other option besides having a baby. I want to make it clear that I didn't pressure her or tell her she should take the pill. I simply brought it up as an option and told her it's generally very safe. I specifically ended the conversation with, "But at the end of the day, it's your body, and I respect any decision you choose." She took a lot of offense to that. Her main argument was that I brought up abortion before we even knew if she was pregnant. But in my eyes, I was operating based on ifs. If she were pregnant, we'd eventually have this conversation. I still would have brought up the abortion pill, because I thought it aligned with what she wanted, to not have a kid. I also made sure to say it was safe and purely an option to consider. I'll add that she's Korean, and it's possible she has a very different view on abortion than I do. In Korea, abortion wasn't legal until 2021, so I can understand why the topic could be very sensitive for her. My question is, what do you think of my situation? Do you think she's valid in breaking up with me over mentioning an option that I thought we both agreed on? Or do you think she's overreacting? Of course, I take full responsibility for bringing it up early, but it's a conversation we would have had eventually if she was pregnant. Update. 5/14/10:47 p.m. After buying flowers and showing up at her house to talk through things, we have come to terms and she forgave me for what I said. I'm so thankful she's understanding. We both agreed we have different views on the word abortion, and that she wasn't expecting me to say that so soon. I made it clear that I should have been there emotionally for her. She forgives me and asks me to work to respect her more in situations like that. She's worth it. I'm so happy she gave me another chance. As far as the pregnancy, I think I was uneducated a bit. We took a test about 1 week post-late period. It was negative. I was told by many people in this thread that that's enough time for an accurate test. We will test tomorrow morning, more accurate in the morning, and hopefully it shows negative. If it does, we can put this challenging moment behind us and focus on being better partners for each other. Mostly me, I need to think about her more in those situations. Thanks for all the advice. I had a lot of good feedback here. Sure, she's valid because people are allowed to break up with someone for any reason they see fit. However, it sounds like this is maybe something you all are aligned on, and moving forward with her or a new partner, consider having this conversation prior to sex. Have these conversations before you ever have sex. Am I the only one who thinks the language around this topic in the post is crazy? Her main argument was that I brought up abortion before we even knew if she was pregnant. Duh, you should be having this conversation before you ever have sex, let alone before confirmation of pregnancy. It's a question that would have come up eventually, whether now or later. Again, this is the type of topic you discuss before intimacy. Especially if you're not the one in charge of whether the pregnancy is terminated or not, her choice. You should be especially diligent not to engage in relationship with someone who doesn't share the same views on this. First of all, you don't get to decide whether someone's reason for breaking up with you is valid or not. She could be telling you that she wants to break up with you because you wore a green shirt and she didn't like that shirt that day, and she's still allowed to break up with you and you don't have to agree with her. On the topic, it is reasonable to bring up options on how you would handle a pregnancy in the midst of a potential pregnancy scare. But the next question is reasonably, why would she think that you could have done something to cause her to be pregnant that she wouldn't know about? Does she think you tampered with her birth control? No one's in the wrong. I would recommend having these conversations prior to starting a serious relationship in the future. This is something you should both be on the same page about long before you're in the situation. There is no valid for breaking up. She doesn't need a reason. Did you mention to her that you think the relationship wasn't long-term? Because you call her your GF, so I'm assuming it's not a fuck buddy situation. But I have to say, describing it as not long-term struck me as odd. Putting all that aside, don't bring up abortion to a woman, because you aren't the one that will have to go through it. My 33F husband, 37M, refuses to get a job after moving across the country for his dream job. I'm just over it. I feel stuck. We've been together almost 10 years. I moved across the country from all of my family and friends and job I loved so much for my husband to follow his dream. What was supposed to be 6 months of training turned into 2 years, not his fault. After his training I was optimistic because he would finally start working. Well, 9 months later and the job market in his field is shit, but because of his pride he refuses to get another job in the meantime. He's applied to over 70 different places in his field across the country, but he's not getting anywhere. He's attempted Uber Eats a handful of times, but other than that, nothing. He has so many skills that he won't put to use in case he gets a call and has to jump on the opportunity. We are renting from my MIL's cousin who wasn't supposed to be staying here, but because of health issues he hasn't left the house. The cousin is an alcoholic who has made so many sexist, obnoxious comments that make me uncomfortable. My husband knows this situation is making me miserable, and I've even told him all he needs to contribute is $1,000 a month and I'd cover to rest to move out. I'm at the point of resenting him and I hate it. Every time I bring it up, or anyone for that matter brings it up, he throws a tantrum and has a pity party. He's even admitted it's his pride keeping him from getting a job doing something else for now. He was always a hard worker and my best friend, but I've watched him melt into the couch and do nothing for the better part of 3 years now. I can't even get him to do any chores or simple tasks without nagging him constantly. We don't go on dates, we don't really have any hobbies or shared interests anymore. We sit on the couch and don't say a word to each other for hours. I feel like when he touches me I want to cringe. I guess you'd call it the ick. I understand he is depressed, but so am I, as well as disrespected, embarrassed and burnt out. Not sure what to do. I've made it this far and keep holding out that it will get better once he gets a job and some confidence back, but as of now I'm so over it. I love him, but I'm finding myself less and less attracted to him by the day. I really don't want to abandon him at his lowest, but this situation has made me see him in a different light. I have a great family, but I've always had to depend on myself and it just sucks. He was a great partner and provider beforehand. What the heck is a girl to do? He has too much pride to get a job doing something else, but not enough pride to make you live like that? Gross. Contact your family about you moving back. I wouldn't tell him. Keep your documents somewhere safe that he doesn't have access to, and then about 2 weeks out from when you plan to leave you tell him, I am done. I'm going back home on XXX date. You can either come with me and we can work on getting our lives and marriage back to where it used to be, or you can stay here. If you choose to stay, I will not continue this marriage. Quote. You're right to be frustrated, and you are not wrong for reaching your limit. You moved across the country, gave up your job, your support system, and have carried this for years while he stays stuck. Pride does not pay bills or build a marriage. It's not wrong to want more than silence and distance. You are not abandoning him if you start prioritizing your own well-being. You've done your part. It's okay to expect him to do his. I stopped halfway through. Pick up stick and leave. See if you can get your old job back. Hard fact. Sometimes, often, love isn't enough. Save yourself. Definitely go back home. Also, please read up on sunk cost fallacy. The amount of time we've spent with someone can sometimes make us try to stay.